Okay, hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome from the Styles Heat Printing Innovation Centre here in Braintree in Essex. I'm coming to you with the very last live video of 2023. So firstly, I want to thank all of you for joining us over the last 12 months. Really appreciate your support, your questions, you're pushing us with new content ideas. So we really appreciate all of you. I'll say right now, I wish you all a happy holidays. But first, before we get into that, I want to do one more live. I want to teach you about one more thing that could really help your business. And also want to get any more questions you have answered before the new year. Don't wait until January for those burning questions, things you wish you needed answers for. Today is the day to ask us anything. And I'm also going to let you know a little bit more about screen printed finishes, how you can get these done in 10 seconds. That's how easy it is to do to get an absolute premium finish done. So get those questions in, just leave a comment. Happy to answer absolutely all of them. And they don't have to be related at all to screen printed heat transfers. It could be about hybrid transfers, direct to film transfers, heat presses, CAD cut, heat transfer vinyl, whatever you want, just get those questions in. So the question I want to pose to everyone today is, how well do you know heat transfers? I know that everyone is talking about direct to film heat transfers, and some of the direct to film heat transfers like ultra color mats are fantastic. They are an amazing option, especially for small run, full color work with lots of detail. But do you know which heat transfer to use at the right time? Part of being an expert garment decorator is using the right tool at the right time. And that's why I'm here today, just to talk about screen printed heat transfers, because this is the original transfer type and this is still the biggest transfer type. So I just want to make sure you all know when to use the right product at the right time. Don't just chase after the shiny toys, although we've got them for you. Always use the right product at the right time. So in this live, I'm going to show you how to get perfect screen printed transfer finishes. So you can see here, this is one I did yesterday for a new video that we have coming out. You can get these big, bold, punchy finishes with one color, or you can even apply them onto sports jerseys. This is 100% polyester. This was actually applied 6 months ago and it still looks great. Or you can even put them onto hats. And the great thing is you can get lots and lots of different color finishes. Because when I talk about using the right transfer for the right job, we often get asked, which product should I use when? How do I know which one to use? And it's really simple, but it's always about let the job dictate which transfer type you should be using, not the other way around. Don't push a transfer type on someone because you're used to that one or you're more comfortable with it. Always use the best transfer for the job. So that's either going to be a screen printed or a plastisol transfer, as it's historically been known as, a hybrid transfer like our ultra color water-based transfers, or ultra color max, the direct to film heat transfer. But there's always about choosing the right product at the right time. So I'm going to show you how to get that perfect finish. I'm going to show you how to get some other types of finishes which are available with screen printed transfers and are only available with screen printed finishes. And I'm also going to show you how to get the application perfect every single time, because it's really easy. So the question is always, why should I use screen printed heated transfers? When should I use them? So screen printed heat transfers are very popular because the most popular type of decorating is still one color. So what I really want to get you thinking about today is what orders do I get, and am I using the right product for them? How many times have you used direct to film or hybrid transfers for one color jobs? And is that the right thing to do? I would suggest that if you have a one color job, a one color transfer might be the best option for you, because one color for one color makes the most sense. So sometimes the simplest ideas are the best ideas. And also you're going to get the best price. You're paying for full color transfers for a single color job. To me, that doesn't make the most amount of sense, and it's not where the pricing's at for those particular types of products. So I'm going to show you today how you could be getting A3 sheets of one color transfers for just £1.13. So really think about using the right product for the right job. You also will be getting questions from some of your customers, especially the more established ones, that say, but I want it Pantone matched. And if you're using a digital transfer, it's possible to get with really close, but you can't get an exact Pantone match. So one of the reasons that people love screen printed finishes on t-shirts, hoodies, bags, is because they want to get an exact ink mix. They say to you, I want this to be 300C. This top I'm wearing here is in Hotronics Blue, and this is a perfect 300C Pantone ink. But the only way to get that Pantone match is by using a traditional screen printed process. And that means literally we have people that way. On the other side of that wall, you can see at the back, and they can mix ink custom for you. If you say this is a Pantone that you need, they'll mix it for you. And most businesses will have hundreds. I think we have over 700 of these pre-programmed onto the website already. But there's something like 16 million Pantones, something ridiculous. But the good heat transfer manufacturer will always be able to provide that for you. And sometimes you get into specialty finishes, so where the DTF products are not quite there when it comes to metallics and neons and special finishes like that. They don't look as great, they don't wash as well. But screen printed transfers, because they've been around for so long, we've been manufacturing them for 42, 43 years on this exact site. So we have it down to a real science, so we can get really great finishes in any color. You could give us a color of something, say, can you find a Pantone for this? And we'll find the Pantone and we'll make a special transfer just for you. So that's why it's always great to have the traditional process just there in case you need it for the right job. Someone says to you, I want 100 or 1,000 single color products of exactly the same transfer, then you should be choosing a one color transfer product. You get a better price, and it's more efficient, and it's a better use of the printer. So that's why we always say one color, go for one color. And you often say if it's between 1 and 3 colors, choose screen anyway, because that's the best option. And after that point, it's ultra color. So it's always about choosing the right product at the right time. If your job is less than 10, but it's single color, we would still recommend heat transfer vinyl for you. Or if you don't have a vinyl cutter, then get that done as a direct film transfer, because you can just do a 55 by 55 centimeter gang sheet of it. But once you start to get to 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000, it's much cheaper for you. So better for your business to have the one color product. And again, you can get really, really bold. That's just white on black. I haven't even had to use any blocker in that. And you can see that just really stands out, even after it's been sitting there for a few days. So that will wash for 75 plus washes or more. So this color is going to last a lifetime of this garment. So that's how you can get a really premium finish. And running my hand over this is as soft and feels as much as part of the garment as any transfer type there is there. So this is the original, and that's why things like our ultra color and direct film are based on this process. They're trying to achieve this look with a full color transfer. So that's why we say if it's a single color, use a single color product. It's much easier for you that way. And the great thing is, as I said, you can get those matching inks. So someone, let's say a very popular soft drink wants to have a very particular red at Christmas, you can get that exact color within 100%. So that's why it's really, really great for you. You get that wash quality. And the other great thing is, let's say you're fusing it, single color work, you decide to take it on. The fusing time for this transfer is actually only 10 seconds. So it's actually one of the quickest transfer types as well. So especially if you're doing those volume jobs of single color, even just by switching from ultra color or a direct to film product, which is normally say 12 for us, 15 or even 20 out there in other sources, actually every time you do one, you're going to save 2 seconds. So it's actually going to be even quicker for you. So you're going to get a single color job, which is going to be cheaper, and you're going to get faster fusing transfer. And it's really, really easy. So that's just something to think about when you're picking the right option for the right job, is factoring in the color, the Pantone match. Do you need it to have a specialty finisher? So I'll just bring this one back to the camera. You can just about see it, I think. Let everyone on Instagram and TikTok know as well. You can get metallic finishes. So especially on the darker colors, if you come to us and say, yes, I love that Pantone, but I just wish it was metallic. And it'll be like, don't worry, it's your lucky day. We can make that into metallic for you. We can add a shimmer. Anyone that is a regular customer of ours knows that every single time around sort of September, October, we always release our special Christmas colors. So for those that you do volume work at Christmas and you need metallics and shimmers, you need that Kelly green or that signal red. and you want it to look really, really punchy and bold and have a different effect that will make you stand out from your competitors, we have an option for you where it's just metallic. So these are all still available under the Target specialty finishes on, Styles specialty finishes on EasyView. So anyone that has questions about pricing and how to get the best price for screen printed finishes, do stick around. Later on, I will be doing a little bit of a tutorial about how to get the best pricing for this work. It'll only be available for everyone that's joining us on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, because we'll be doing a screen share. So I'll give you a couple of minutes warning at that point. If not, just switch between the platforms now, and you'll be able to stay in there for that. But I think it's important I show you all just how easy it is to fuse this particular type of product.
Before you get started, Andy, have you got time for a quick question?
Quick question, let's go for it, let's hear it.
First of all, got a couple of shout outs because we've got quite a few people with us today. So I'm just going to say hello to Print Pro UK who are with us on TikTok. We love your content. I'm pretty sure these guys are Hotronix users as well. Yeah. And then on Instagram, we've got a watcher over from India. Plugs1 CDC says, really nice products that you're showing up, going to drop you a DM in a little while.
Lovely.
And then Paper Route says, can you do multiple colour transfers?
You can. So we don't recommend going over 5 colours for screen transfers, mostly because it's going to be expensive for you. Because it is a more traditional process, there are screens involved. So the more colours you add, the more expensive it gets. So that's why we would say that we would switch to ultra colour at about 3 colours. But if you need those Pantone matches, get in touch and it is possible to do more colours, it just will get more expensive. So that's why we tend to say 1, 2 or 3 colours is the best option for you there.
Perfect. Yeah, that's everything for now.
Okay.
Print Pro have just piped up and said, hi, yes, we do have Hotronix and we need some platens for it. Get in touch, guys.
Yeah, get in touch. Okay, so I have the Hotronix Fusion IQ here today. I've got this set to 160 degrees, which is perfect for screen printed finishes. I'm going to give it a pre-press for 5, and then I'm going to give it a main press for 10. So it's super, super easy. So when I say you can get screen printed finished goods in 10 seconds, it's not just a clever gimmick for this nice event title, it's the truth. And I'll show you exactly how. So this has the slide and draw function here, which is really great for doing some screen printed finishes. So slide that garment on there nicely. Make sure we've got a nice central placement there. Then we're just going to put it under here for medium pressure. So any of our regular watchers know that will be between 4 and a 6. If you're new to us, this is the first time you're joining us today, all of our machines from the auto open upwards have a pressure readout here. So with every transfer type, pressure is really important. You have to get accurate pressure. You have to get between 4 and a 6 if it's Hotronix. That is medium pressure. Medium pressure means it should not be hard work for you. So when I pull this down, you see how easy it is for me to do it. That's how easy it is for your heat. That's how easy your heat press should be to do. So don't make it hard work. No transfer printing should be hard work. No transfer finish should be hard work. So just pull it down with 2 fingers. And I'm going to pre-press for 3 to 5 seconds. So I've got a list a little bit high. It's telling me it's on a 7 rather than a 6, which is okay for the pre-press. So I'm just going to wind it back down a tiny bit. Now I've pre-pressed this because I want to get a really nice warm finish. I want it to be flat on here and I want any moisture removed from the jumper, because when I put my transfer on here, I want it to be perfect conditions every single time, and that's how you get perfect application. So here I have this fantastic design by one of our studio folks, and this is what a screen transfer looks like. It's got a slightly different paper to the ultra color because it's a very traditional process. But the great thing is, with all screen transfer types, you can gang up your work. So this is an A3, but I can either print this as one giant print, which finishes here. I can throw some neck labels on, or I can cut it off at the top here. If these could all be individual transfers, and you're not going to get charged for each transfer or each image that's on there, you just have your space to work with, and that is that. So first step is to get rid of these neck labels. We don't need them today. Although I should note that because most neck labels are single color, we do tend to recommend using screen transfers for neck labels because they're so soft and you can get so many on a sheet and they all tend to be one color. If you want a pro tip, we tend to recommend going for a silver metallic neck label transfer, because then you can use it on black and it still looks great. And if you put it on white, it's not going to show through to the back and you can still read it nicely. So we have pre-pressed this garment. We're now going to get our transfer, and this has been perfectly Pantone matched to Hotronix. So it's to Styles Blue 300C Pantone. We're going to place this on here. I'm just going to turn my back, so excuse me. I just want to make sure I get this nice and central. Don't want any wonky transfers for you. Then, and this is a really important step when fusing screen transfers. Make sure you use release paper. And the reason you use release paper is because this is a cold peel heat transfer. So when this press comes back up, it's going to want to pull that transfer with it, even if it's just on a swing and draw press like the Hotronix Fusion IQ. So it's always good to be really careful. Make sure you have the release paper on there. So the only thing that comes back up is the release paper. We're going to give it 10 seconds, so remember 160 degrees C. And because this is a Hotronix heat press, I know that my press is accurate to the degree, which is really important, because we either have all of our heat transfer types are built at a very specific temperature, as all transfer types are. It's very important to have an accurate press, because if you've got a cheap press, what you tend to find is you're either going to be 10 degrees up, 10 degrees down, or even worse, more of a fluctuation than that. So that way you're never going to get perfect application. You're never going to unlock the adhesive on the back of this transfer. The powder that you find on the backs of these needs to unlock at 160 degrees if you're doing screen printed finishes. So I'm just going to very gently remove this because we want this to go cold. So I have a table just next to me that I'm just going to place this down on. Let it go cold. So the important thing if you're doing a job with cold peel transfers is not to wait for it to cool down and then peel it. Put them all down to the side, because if you're fusing transfers and they're cold peel, they can be cold in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It doesn't make any difference. If you want to wait a little bit longer, you can still peel them perfectly every single time. So it's really, really important that you just let them go cold, but do the next jumper while you're waiting. Keep going and going and going. I know we've had some questions recently around heat presses. So while we're waiting for just another 30 seconds, I just want to explain this heat press here, because this is one of the most popular heat presses anywhere in the world. This is in fact the best seller because everyone loves the Wi-Fi controller on here. For switching between different transfer types, because you're a heat printing pro and you know which transfer types use when. So that's, if it's less than 10 units, we're talking direct to film, ultra color max. If it's more than 10 units, single color, it's 1 to 5 color heat transfers. And if it's more than say 10 or 20 full color, then it's ultra color digital hybrid transfers. Really, really easy. And I'll show you how to order them later. So all you need to do is select the library on your controller here. And then you see everything you need. If you're a UK heat printer, US heat printer, it's all regionalized to your area. So all the right products in your region are already pre-programmed. So you can just go and find 1 to 5 color, click that, and automatically knows the right temperature, the right pressure readout, so that means you can get perfect application every single time, which is going to make your life so much easier because you don't even have to remember what the transfer finishes are. We always give you instructions anyway. You can get it right time after time after time. So this should have cooled down by now. Yeah, it's nice and cold. So get a nice flat surface here. You don't want to peel these standing up, so I'm just going to put it back on here. Grab it by the corner and you want a nice smooth peel. You don't want to be stopping, getting nervous partway through. A nice smooth peel and you'll get perfect finishes. You can see that was very nice and easy. Put this down. I'm going to give you a close up. So you can see this is perfect 300C blue. Make sure everyone on Instagram, TikTok can see it. And you can see here I've got really fine detail, really small lettering, a bit of leopard print, some lightning strikes, lots of detail, and it was done with ease. This was so easy to do. It took 10 seconds, and just like that, you have a screen printed finish on a jumper, you could do this on a t-shirt, a bag, any type of product like that. It's really so easy to get screen printed finishes. And it's still, like I said, this is still one of the most popular and most requested type of finishes from the actual consumer. So it's always important to know, how can I get single color? What if my customer asks for screen print? And then they'll think, well, actually, they'll be thinking, oh, do I need to get a carousel? Do I need to invest tens of thousands of pounds here? And the answer is no, you just need to invest a couple of pounds and transfers at a time. And I've put this onto a Just Hoods JH030, really premium soft finish, and that's just like that. And depending on how this is being pitched, who your customer type is, you've probably got £12 of product material here at most, and you could sell this between 20 or even 50, depending if you want to do rebadge the inside of this, put a custom neck label in, then you could make this a really, really premium product. So that's how easy it is to do. So do we have any questions?
Yeah, we've got a couple of questions come in. So on TikTok, we've got Print Pro UK. What's the difference between release paper and a Teflon sheet? I've been using a Teflon sheet for years.
Okay, good question. What is the difference between using release paper and a Teflon sheet? So in this instance here, I've got a light coloured garment and I've just got a screen transfer. There's nothing that can happen to this top. It's light. There's going to be no marking on this jumper. I'll show you up close so you can see there's not a scorch, nor would you expect one anyway, but you can see that it's got a perfect finish. So I only need a release paper. A grip flex or a Teflon sheet is used as part of the arch method. It's used as a prevention of scorching or burning, and it's for delicate materials. So if you're just doing white t-shirts or even black t-shirts that don't mark, like many of them don't even mark at all these days, especially if you're already using temperature product, then you don't need a grip flex for that. Just normal release paper is absolutely fine. A grip flex is there, or a Teflon sheet is there to add an extra layer of protection. So if you're doing fleeces or some hoodie types, sportswear perhaps, and you want to just protect it from getting scorched, that polyester in there is going to burn up a little bit after a certain temperature, then use the grip flex. But just normal tops like this, you don't need any release paper. You don't need grip flex for just release paper, just to stop that cold peel pushing up.
Another question in on Instagram. Does it peel or crack after washing?
No, so this is, like I said, this is the most established product that we have. We have been manufacturing this for over 40 years. That's not an exaggeration. That is literally over 40 years. So we wouldn't be here if this cracked or came off after the first wash. We would have no business anyway. But no, the great thing is we wash test everything. So something that's quite unique about Styles, in every single area that we manufacture heat transfers, we have industrial wash machines. So we are always testing and always checking our transfers, doing spot checks. But any time a product is available or a new product or any even existing ones, we're always checking and checking to make sure that wash quality is there. We need to make sure that we are providing the longest lasting transfer type anywhere in the world. And we're really proud to have the longest lasting transfer type in the UK. So every transfer type you have, be it 1 to 5 colour screen or a plastisol transfer, our direct to film or our ultra colour, they're all wash tested before you even see them. So we would not release a product that wouldn't last wash after wash. We want it to last a lifetime of this garment. We want the threads to start coming out of this shoulder before any colour is faded. So these are the longest lasting finish you can possibly have. Okay, so if you have more questions as we keep going through, do leave a comment, get involved. Got one more? That's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's
we've
good.
had
That's
one
good.
more.
This is last. Remember, this is the last live of 2023. The next time you get to ask these questions will probably be January the 5th, something like that. So do get questions, even if it's unrelated to this.
What's the minimum amount of transfers that I'm able to order, please?
So if you're talking 1 to 5 colour screen printed transfers like we're looking at today, minimum order is only 10. If you want to get direct to film transfers, it's just 1. Really nice and simple. So we're very aware that, especially if you want to try out a new product, this is not a new product, but it could be new to you. Or if you're just doing short runs and long runs, it means that there's always a product type available for you. But the great thing is, the more you order, the cheaper it gets. So if you you do 10 and then you do 25, or then you do 50 or 100, it's going to get cheaper and cheaper every time you order more. Okay, yeah, so get those questions in. Like I said, it's the last live of the year, so this is the last chance for us to help you out. So any problems you've got, I'd love to hear about them because I want to try and help you fix them. So this is very easily how we did one in blue. I'm now going to do a t-shirt in white. Just show you a little bit of this. So this is something that is very unique to us. So ignore the branding on the old branding on there. I'll show it upside down so you can see it better. So this is you can see the pink and the yellow. Something is very unique to us, and that's why I always talk about using the right transfer at the right time. This is a special neon finished transfer. So there is no other neon transfer type that is even close to being comparable to a screen printed plastisol transfer. There's some gimmicky ones out there that I've seen, but none of them have the boldness, none of them wash as well, like a special mix transfer. And the reason this has got so much bold and so much vibrancy is this is actually a special color. So we can obviously offer you any type of Pantone you could possibly want. Sometimes there's no Pantone, or there's sometimes you're like, I like that, but I just want a bit more to it. So we have a few different specialty finishes. We do have a rose gold, which again is a unique option for us. We have 4 special neon finishes, fluorescent transfer inks that are only available as a screen printed heat transfer to get the full vibrancy and to really look good. Again, wash after wash after wash. So we have a yellow, we have a pink, we have a blue, and we have a green. And these actually perfectly match our sports film premium plus vinyl as well. So if you're doing mixed media, you can match them together. But it does mean if you have a customer that's like, oh, I wish I could have a neon finish. And neon's been really popular over the last few years. So actually being able to provide a true neon transfer screen printed finish has always been something that people have struggled with, but we have specially mixed inks. This has been in our R&D department for years, and we launched this quite a while ago, to be honest, but it's something that people have been using more and more and more as neon inks and specialty finishes like this become more popular because people always want something different. What can I do that's different to my competitors? What can I do as a brand that's different, that really matches with my sensibilities? So you can get neon finishes as well.
Andy, can the transfers apply to cardstock or any other hard surfaces?
You can actually. So all of our transfers can apply to pretty much any kind of flat surface or cardboard or anything that can take heat really. It really depends on if that card is able to take heat, whether it's been treated at all, whether it's been sprayed with anything to stop it from being able to take a finish like that. So that's kind of the most important thing, is what treatment does the card have? Does it have anything weird going on there? So I would say it's always possible, but just test. Get a small run of them done, test it, because it won't be expensive to get a small order done. I think that if you go for the 6 by 6 centimetre size and just go for the smallest run, then you're looking at sort of like £22 for the whole order. So it's very inexpensive to get started that way. So I've just noticed we've actually had loads of people joining in on Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube, so some latecomers. So just to recap for everyone that is joining us a little bit late, welcome to the last live of 2023. So get some questions in. I could see one coming in. So we'll get all of your questions answered. So anything you need to know about screen printed heat transfers, we have already fused a just hoods top with perfectly matched 300C Pantone ink, and only took 10 seconds to apply. Really, really easy. We're going to do another transfer now, and then I'll get back to answering some more of your questions. So again, t-shirts are really, really easy. I've got a medium one here. Again, from all we do is, so I'm just going to slide it on here. Make sure I've got a nice central possession. The collar is off there. Then, because this is a thinner material to the hoodie, I know that the pressure is going to be changed. So I'm going to put it in here. So remember, we were sitting on a 5 pressure before. So when I pull this down, it's now gone to a 3. Actually, it's flashing at a 2. So we just need to give it a slight turn again, just to make sure that we get the right pressure. Remember, we always want medium pressure on all heat transfer types, so between a 4 and a 6. So now let's give it a proper pre-press. So sitting on a 4. So 5 seconds is fine. going to give a tiny little bit more. Then I'm going to grab another heat transfer. This time I'm going to be using same design but in white. So you can't quite see that on the camera, but we have this fantastic bold white. And that's going to get us a finish just like this. Really, really bold, really punchy. It's a very true white. So again, I'm just going to cut the neck labels off the bottom of this because, as always, we have created a gang sheet for ourselves.
While you're chopping that off, Andy,
Yeah, go
we've
for
got a
it.
question come in.
Yeah.
What would cause the fabric layers to stick together when pressing screen printed heat transfers?
It sounds to me like you're possibly not threading your garments. Just to confirm that, so let me put this to the side. So you can see here, I very clearly separated the layers when I thread on here. I only want one layer on heat press. You don't want the other layers coming through because there could be creases, it could be folds in there that are going to push through to the other side. But if you're just taking your top and you're just perhaps lying it down like that, and then putting a transfer on it through, depending if you've got, especially if you've got like a cheap thin top, then you could be trying to, it shouldn't happen. So I'm thinking you've got double layer, probably cheap top and overpressured, so you're really just squashing everything through. Because even if I was to do this with, it wouldn't look good. I'll do one on the back afterwards, and I'll show you it won't stick. You should still be fine. So let me just thread this back on. We'll fuse this transfer first. Okay, so we have got some questions coming on Facebook and as well. So I'm just going to fuse this really quickly, and then I'm going to answer those questions while we let this peel. So again, get a nice positioning here. If you're joining us later, use release paper with this 1:5 colour plastisol transfer, because we want to make sure that when the press is coming back up, it's not pulling the transfer with it. So we'll pop it back under there, 10 seconds, which is even quicker than our DTF or ultra-colour transfer. So you're saving 2 seconds, and using single colour for a single colour job is always the best way to go. So this will beep when it's finished. And I should hasten to add as well, because this is a good quality heat transfer, there's not going to be any second presses needed as well. I know this is something that people always ask us. So just pop this down on a cold surface. You don't need to second press heat transfers. If they're good transfers, they should just be once and done. So just got some questions come in from Lorraine at Dress to Dance. So I'm just going to quickly answer them because she's been very patiently waiting. Some of my transfers have a faint line around the edges. Is this my artwork? I'm not a designer, so I'm not using flashy software. So the answer to that, Lorraine, is give us a ring. If you're having trouble with some transfers or some designs, just get in touch. Just ring us, send us a direct message on Facebook. Our customer service team will answer both. Always happy, depending on which platform is best for you as a business to answer your queries. Get in touch and they can speak to our studio, have a look at your artwork and make some suggestions for you for how you can get the finish that you're after, the desired finish that you want to see. She also has a follow-up question, is which is the best transfer to order when it's a color image onto a black t-shirt? Okay, so this is a good question. And you can see today that I've fused a light color top, and now I've just fused a black color top, much like this one I was showing earlier. So again, black, and just to give you a real close-up of that, you can see there's nothing going on, there's no scorching. I've got perfect application with this one. So it means that with all our transfer types, we don't have this is for white t-shirts, this is for black t-shirts. Because it's a really high quality transfer, it's always for all tops. If that garment can take heat, you can put our transfer onto it. If you were to be putting a transfer onto, say, something that's sublimated or dyed to get a very specific colour, I'm thinking like red football shirts or stripy football shirts that perhaps have been imported from overseas and you don't know quite how they've got them to that colour, is I would say in that case, you might want to consider our sub-blocker version of the transfers. In this instance, we just add an extra layer in so that there's no possible for any of that color to come through. But in any instance, just get in contact with us, ask your questions, find out what is the transfer type that's best for you on each occasion. Okay, and I've got one more question from Lorraine just following up, so this is great. Get those questions coming. Like I said, this is the last live of the year, so last chance to get these questions answered. I do many black t-shirts for a customer with multicolored images, so yellow, red, white, something like that. I think it is dull. T-shirts are usually gilt and soft style. So in this instance, Lorraine, so as we were discussing earlier, so we're mostly talking one color today because we want to make sure if you're doing one color jobs, use one color products to get the best price, to get the best finish, to choose the right option. But if it is something with yellow, red, white, lots of different colors, then we absolutely always say we have ultra color, especially if you're doing like many black t-shirts and you're starting to do a bit of volume, say 10, 2,500, even more, 1,000. Use our ultra color product. So this is, we have a key on the website anyway, but if you're ordering say more than 10 or 20 of the same image and it's multicolored, use ultra color because you want to make sure you get the best price point every single time. And it's normally about 3 colors. So if the customer is not too worried about Pantone matching, go for ultra color. Okay, do we have any questions from Instagram or TikTok before I get to the peel?
We have a follow-up from the previous question about threading garments. The user has said, I don't thread my garments. My previous press didn't allow it. However, I now have the same one that you're using.
Oh, lucky you.
But I do find it difficult to line up my transfers upside down.
Okay, right, no problem. So to answer that question, to explain a little bit, is that so I'm just going to peel this first actually. So this has gone cold. It probably only takes about 30 seconds. So I've been talking for a couple of minutes. So you don't need to wait as long as we're waiting. 30 seconds is probably about normal for it to go cold. Once it's gone cold, nice flat surface, grab it from the corner and just peel smooth. Just like that, really, really nice and easy. And you can see you've got super bold white colors there, and they're really, really smooth, really soft. So this is not just good from a color point of view, from a vibrancy point of view. This feels better than any other decorating process for the actual user. So this is how you can get a really, really premium finish as well. So it's not just a case of, yeah, you're getting good price because you're ordering a one color product for a watercolor transfer for a one color job. But actually, in terms of the feel to this product, this is as good as anything. So it means you get soft feel. It doesn't feel like you're wearing something on there. It feels like you are just wearing a normal t-shirt with nothing on it, but it looks amazing because you have this fantastic white print on there. So what I'm going to do now is just to follow up to your question. So the question was, I'm not threading, I find it difficult. That's because the previous question, if anyone's joining us now, is that they're having some trouble with layers sticking to one another because the t-shirt is going on like this instead of being threaded. So we don't recommend doing that. There's a few reasons. One is because if you're not using interchangeable patterns and perhaps you've got this collar here, it's going to come through to the other side if you put too much pressure through. So you're also going to get lots of shiny marks coming through. You can see I've got a few creases on here because it's been folded up for a little while. They could come through as well. They could come from the back to the front. So it's always best to thread on properly. But I'm just going to do it the same way just to prove that the t-shirt is not going to stick together. So I'll do it facing this way so you can see a bit closer. So again, I wouldn't recommend doing this, but I just want to show you that this is not the best way to do it. So you've got your t-shirt on there. Again, we'll give it a pre-press. 5 seconds, and you can actually see that the pressure's gone up from a 4 to a 5. Because these presses are so accurate, they can get that pressure going through. And actually, something I really wanted to show you, because that collar has been on, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there we go, there's that shiny mark here, looks like I've got a Joker smile on me, is because the collar from this side,
Yeah, you can see that, yeah.
you can see it, this collar here is pushing through to the other side. That's just on medium pressure, You've got a smile here on the back, which is not a good finish. Your customer will not want that to stay on there.
And that's just a pre-press, that's not even
Just
after
a pre-press.
the main press.
So I'm going to carry on doing it. So I just want to show you that it's not going to stick together, but immediately as well, you know that because that collar's coming through, you have something on there that is affecting the pressure of the garment as well. So, and you can see here, I'm really struggling to get this to go flat. So you might not notice it on the first few washes, but you're also not going to get the same wash quality by doing it that way. So let me see what I have. Transfer type.
Fiona, while Andy's doing this, let us know what type of transfer you're using as well.
So we'll pop that down on there. I'll put a bit of release paper on there too. Slide it under for another 10 seconds. So again, I wouldn't recommend doing this. This is not the best way to do it, but I just want to show you what happens when you do this type of method that way. Again, it peels. It will peel cold, but we'll know straight away that we're fine. So you can see, I've not had to peel it, but straight away, I put my hand through this transfer and you can see it's not sticking to the other side. So to your earlier question about why is it sticking, is there what type of t-shirt are you using? Maybe there's a better t-shirt you could be using, but it's also how much pressure you must be putting through to get to stick. So I don't think it would be on a 4 or 6 for Hottronics. Maybe you're on a 7, 8 or a 9, or even you're getting the OL, which basically means you're overpressured. So I would always recommend threading your t-shirt. So one layer onto here. It's actually quicker to unload every t-shirt as well. It's smooth on, smooth off. So I'm saving 5-10 seconds just by having threadability. And anyone that is new to us or has not seen our presentation or our videos on productivity and threading t-shirts and what difference it can make, every time you thread a t-shirt on, if you can save 10 seconds, if you're doing 100 t-shirts a year, you will save 10 working days just by little incremental savings like that. So that's really, really important that you always think about how you're actually ordering those, threading those products and what the significance is of that. For yourself, it's you're getting stuff that's sticking to each other. I would guess you're perhaps getting those collar marks coming through. You can have to throw t-shirts away every time you get it wrong, and you're also losing time. One, because you're not threading it on. You also probably because you're probably getting nervous about actually the placement. Is this going to work? And that kind of those moments of being unsure about the whole process. You're probably losing 5, 10, 15 seconds each time just overthinking it as well. So you could actually gain weeks back just by threading your t-shirts. And it all comes down to practice. The main thing, and that's why I'm always very careful on these lives. I know it's very rude for me to turn my back to you, but I want to make sure I'm facing that press centrally so I can get perfect positioning every single time. And if you're really unsure, we do have things like laser guided systems. For about £330, they can sit on the table next to it and they can beam down a perfect placement for you as well. So if you're doing lots of the same types of job, perhaps think about a laser system just to project onto your shirt for you to show exactly where that transfer needs to go every single time.
Can we achieve a matte black finish with screen printed transfers? Mm-hmm. Black on black is a great idea.
This is a great question. All of the transfer types here have a matte finish to them. We think that's the best finish for transfers. It looks the best, it feels the best, and you don't want that kind of glossy, almost cheap finish to your transfers, to your garments, so we always go matte. So this is a matte white, black will be matte as well, and every single colour has always got a slight matte finish to it. You can see even on the metallics, got a slight shine to them, but they're also a bit matte as well.
Jacob, I hope you're still with us on TikTok. I finally got round to your question now. Sorry, we've had lots of questions come in.
It's the last live of the year, so get those questions in.
Jacob says they're a t-shirt shop owner, and most of their orders is large quantity orders. What is the best solution?
So it depends, Jacob, on what the transfer is. So again, always pick the right transfer for the right job. So you're saying large orders, so that could be, I don't know what that is, it could be 50, it could be 1,000. But because with our transfers, the price goes down every time you order, And I'd really encourage you, if you can, Jacob, to go and switch over to YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook in a moment, because I'm going to show you how to get the press prices. I'm going to show you how to order heat transfers in just a moment, because it gets cheaper the more you order. If you are going volume, I would not recommend using the Ultracolor Max, because it won't be as cheap the more you order. But if you were to order, say, if it's one color, order our one color heat transfer type. Maybe if it's two color, that type. If it's three or more colors, order Ultracolor, which is perfect again, because you're going to get those price breaks every single time. The more you order, the cheaper it gets. With all our transfers as well, you saw it earlier, we have layouts where you can put as many transfers on here as you want to. So it means that the more you order, even if you've got different size logos, you can put them all on here and you won't get charged the more images you have on here as well. So again, really great for not only are you going to bring the price down by ordering a transfer type that gets cheaper the more you order, you're also going to bring the price down by creating gang sheets on our system. So if you put 10 of your logos on here, you can effectively divide the cost by 10. So really, really great way to order as well. Have we got any more questions on TikTok?
Just one final question. How much is the Fusion IQ heat press?
Fusion IQ here, this is £2,250 plus VAT. And this is the world's most advanced manual heat press. So I'm just giving everyone a 1 minute warning who's on TikTok or Instagram who wants to join us for the last 5 minutes of the live. Head over to YouTube, Facebook or LinkedIn. Just search for Styles UK, because that's where we're going to finish up with the pricing. So people like Jacob, make sure you join us over there. For everyone else, I'm just going to a little bit of an explanation about the Fusion IQ. So this is a swing and a draw press. So it can swing that way if you want it to. It also has the draw function under here too. So depending on your workspace, how you want it to be set up, you can have an option for you. And if you're doing detailed work, perhaps some sports numbering, it's really great to have that heat-free workspace. You also get the IQ controller here. So it means that all your recipes either come preloaded, or you can add your own techniques in there as well if you want to. Just go to the library and select the product you want. But the great thing is, because this has so much warranty on it, you've got that peace of mind it's going to last and last. So for instance, the heating element on this, which has no cold spots at all, it's the most accurate heat press, has a lifetime warranty on the heating element. You also get 5 years on this framework as well. So in terms of not only how much does heat press cost today, £2,250, but what is the true cost of owning this heat press? We always recommend take that warranty, that 5-year warranty, and divide the cost. So if you're looking at owning a heat press like this, it's going to cost you £1.23 per day to have the world's most advanced manual heat press. So really, really affordable if you look at it as more of a long-term project. So I have one question from Lorraine here, then I'm going to switch just to YouTube, LinkedIn and Facebook. What is the shelf life of a transfer and the best way to store them, please? Great question, Lorraine. So every time you order from us, they come in some packaging. We always recommend keep them in the packaging. Put them in a cool, dry place in their packaging. They're often in a box or an envelope, depending on how many you order. So we always say, take that box, write on there what the job is. So you can just put them all on a shelf each time you order. So you can just look at it like a library of heat transfers, pick the one you want, make sure it's sealed in there. Don't leave it under the sun or in the sunlight. Just put it in a cool, dry place, and that product will last you years. We have transfers, some of these samples we've been using for our lives, we've had them for like 2 years, and they're absolutely perfect every single time. Just cool, dry place, and put them in that sealed packet, and you're going to be great for ages.
Just a quick note for Lorraine as well. If you're with us on YouTube, find our recent Garment Decorators podcast upload, which is a Q&A session from the Styles Global Masterclass, which happened. It was a massive virtual event that we took part in and hosted a couple of months ago. We've just released the Q&A panel with heat printing experts, and they actually talk about transfer storage more in depth in that podcast episode. So it's definitely worth a watch or a listen. That's the Garment Decorators podcast.
Okay, so with that, I will say goodbye to everyone on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you for joining us live all year. We look forward to welcoming you back in the first week of January. but there is still fantastic content on our YouTube page that will be going live throughout the whole of the holiday period. So if you want to get your fix on learning more and more, do come and join us there. There will also be another live later on today at 5 p.m. UK time, where you can join our colleagues in the US on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. So everyone that is still with us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, I'm now going to share my screen with you. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to get the best prices. Okay, so I am over here on the Styles UK website. This is custom.styles.uk. So we are the leading heat transfer manufacturer in the UK for all heat transfer types. And we are in fact the only single source supplier of plastisol screen printed heat transfers, digital hybrid transfers, and direct to film heat transfers. So that's why no matter what the job type, and that's why it's really important, if you're going to be the best of the best, it's about picking the right product for the right job. And we have every single product type. So whenever you need to order from us, you know exactly where to go and you can find us very easily. So if you head to custom.styles.co.uk, you're greeted with our wonderful webpage, and we make it very, very easy for you. Screen printed transfers, which is what we've been discussing today. You have ultra color. So this is a digital hybrid transfer for volume, full color jobs, more than 1 to 3 colors. This is the option we recommend. And our ultra color max direct to film transfers have a minimum order of 1. Again, full color, unlimited detail, no lines. This is a great product for you as well. It's all about ordering the right product at the right time. Because we're talking screen printed transfers today, I'm just going to select there. And when you get to this page, you'll see there are 8 different layouts. So this is something that is important because you need to pick the right layout for the right job as well. So we always want to make sure that you have the options to be as profitable and as efficient as possible. So when it comes to transfer ordering, we give you 8 different layouts based on traditional sizes of transfers, with a little bit of extra just to make sure you're doing something, in case you're doing something a bit different. So if you want it to be pre-cut, order a pre-cut transfer size. If you want to order a gang sheet and you're not sure you want to put some jobs together, order A4 or A3, and then you can just divide that cost down by each transfer type. So for instance today, if that person just wanted to trial a few, you could go 6 by 6 centimetre, order 10, and it's only going to cost you £2.21, which as a sampling size is really quite reasonable. Or if you're like Jacob and you're doing volume and you want to get the best price, head over here, pick the A3 option. You can either use our text designer or you can upload your artwork here. In this instance, you can either use EPS, PDF or SVG files here. Just make sure that artwork is vectored. So I can go to my library. Actually, let me just log in first for you. So I have a library already pre-built for such lives like this. So I can just log in here, add my design. So the same design I had earlier, the blue, which I put onto that just sweats top there. So I've got all my historic designs in here. So it means I have a library available to me whenever I come onto the EasyView designer. Got all my leaves designs I've uploaded. So I uploaded this artwork in black originally, because that's how I designed it, that's how our studio prepared it for us. But the great thing is once you get to that point, you can just pick any single color you want. So it immediately identifies the color that's available here. And this is quite a good point for you. Anyone that's new to us, the mistake that people make often with design is that they don't always think in Pantone. So if you're thinking of Pantones, if you have a Pantone book, you have a Pantone reference, you can just give us the reference and it'll print in that type. But we've deliberately made a mistake here, because something that people make a mistake a lot, and something we want to make sure you don't mistake, is you designing in Illustrator or a platform like that, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's perfect, it's black, but you can see actually it's not black. it looks black, but is it actually like true black? And if you're doing a black design, you want true black. But our studio has deliberately created this so you can see it's got a slight grey to it because it's almost black. It's like 99% there, but it's not exactly there. So that's why it's always important to really double check your Pantones when you're ordering screen transfers. So then when you click on this one, you can say, thinks it's actually 419C. Really want it to get a really nice punchy black. Just black. When I change this now, you can see how much difference that has made to that transfer there. So it might look black on the screen or might be close to black, but our designer is so accurate when it comes to the ink colors that it has like, I think 20 different grades available because we have customers that want those different grades. Always double check the ink you're choosing, check the Pantone reference you're choosing to make sure you get the best product. Or in this instance, I want this to be blue. So I can just search for the Pantone number. So let's say, for instance, 300C blue, and you can see it's waiting there for me. Or if you wanted those fluorescents, get Pantone fluorescent yellow, make it yellow. And then when you're happy with the Pantone or the color you've picked, like I said, there's over 700 available. If you want your own ones as well, or if there's a one you can't see in there, just message us and we'll find it for you. So when you order it, the minimum order is 10 for screen printed transfers, the plastisol ink transfer, but the more you order, the cheaper it's going to get. So you can see here, minimum order 10, £63. And I could get lots of transfers on here. This could be, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but I could easily, depending on what my artwork types, I could get 10, I could get 20. If I was doing neck labels, I could probably get 50 on there. And then the cost of that transfer of £6.36 is divided by the amount of transfers. Just 10 the same, but really, really affordable, even at 10. If I start to change this now to 50, it's gone down from £6.36 to £2.40 just by ordering 40 more transfers. So you can see actually the price is going down really quite quickly the more you order. So for Jacob, and there's other people ordering volume, 100, it's gone down below £2 already, just from the difference between 10 to 100. It's gone from £6.36 to £1.97 each. And if you still had, say, 10 transfers on there, you're looking at 19p each. So if you're doing volume, even if you're just doing A3 prints and you want to use the whole space, £1.97 to create a finish that looks like this, that looks amazing, that's vibrant, that's colourful, that's detailed. Even if you're just ordering 100, it's only £1.97. But there's more price breaks in there. 200, £1.76. So it keeps going down and down and down. So let's see what happens if we put 1,000 in there. 1,000, you get to £1.13 each. So I know that not everyone is going to be ordering 1,000 at a time. You've got that flexibility there. But sometimes you will get that big job. If you keep doing premium work like this, you'll get noticed and you'll start to get those bigger jobs. And the more you order, the cheaper it gets. So remember, it's gone from £6.36 down to £1.13 for one colour transfer jobs like this, which are Pantone matched. They can be fluorescent, they could be metallic, they can have specialty finishes. And the great thing is, they're back to you in 2 days. 2-day turning around on all as a maximum on transfer types. Ultra Max is actually only 1 day, but 2-day turnaround for this Pantone matched specialty ink finish. That's the quickest there is available anywhere. Once you've picked your volume, just click buy. You pay by credit card if you want to, bank transfer. You could set up an account with us to order on 30-day terms as well. So the flexibility for ordering, and this can be done 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. We don't mind, we want to make this easy for you. That's why it's Easy View. Everything is done really simply. If you've got a credit card, you don't have to wait to set up an account. You can just go in and place your order and get started. And you saw how easy it was. This took me 10 seconds to fuse. So really, really simple. And all you have to do is upload artwork, click your quantity and go. This should not be ordering transfers. It should not be a tricky part of your business. Fusing transfers should not be a tricky part of your business. You should be just concentrating on things like getting more business in, getting more of those volume jobs so you can get your transfer price from £6.36 down to £1.13. So I think that is it for questions. I'm just going to give everyone a couple of seconds in case there's any last minute questions, but we're at 1 o'clock, so I'm sure some of you probably have to get back to work or get back to the next printing job, or talk to your customers and tell them about how they can get Pantone matched inks in fluorescents and metallics, because this could be the next big thing for them in 2024. And like I said, these have the highest wash quality available, smoothest finish, and they've been manufacturing them here for like 40 years. So we know this is the traditional transfer method, but it's still the best option sometimes. If it's just a one color job and you want detail and you want vibrancy, don't pay for a full color transfer if you don't need it. We just want to make sure that you have the best option for your business every single time. So as I said, this is the last live of the year, but we will be back with a bang in January. So make sure you're following us on either Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you want to get your content from. We have content available for you. We have lots of stuff going on over the holidays. Go and check out our blog. We've got lots of great ideas for new business on there, or just techniques and things you might want to learn about. So if you want to get a bit bored over Christmas and you want to educate yourself, we have so much stuff available on our YouTube channel. We have our podcast, which comes out every single Monday morning. Do you want something for your commute? Do you want something to work with? We had done some really great interviews recently, and lots of them are starting to come available to you. And we're starting again with a bang. I'm not sure if I don't think we're allowed to say who it is with the first year, but I know we have one of our colleagues from other shores available, joining us, or not a colleague, but like a good friend of ours who brought some real great energy to the podcast. So I think you'll all really enjoy that one. So make sure you check that out, and we'll see you all in the new year.